Let's talk about mobile games.
Let's not. Unless you're playing on a PC that costs twice the amount of your car, you have no room to call yourself a gamer.
But what if you do both?
I'll be watching you.
Hello, it's Loxton. So I just moved, hence the new backdrop and all that. And packing and moving and then unpacking takes like 2 weeks. I'm still unpacking even. And during that time, all my consoles and even my computer are packed away, so I can't use them. So in order to get my gaming fix, I would play mobile games. But it's not like I have to find an excuse to play mobile games, right? I'm still a real gamer. All of my focus being on mobile games these last few weeks have gotten me thinking about that old debate of whether or not mobile games should count as real games or not. And I mean, if you think about it for more than a second, it's obvious that it's a real game. I mean, come on. Me squeezing this rubber turkey is a game. So that is not the discussion here. Rather, the discussion here is more of an issue of quality. And looking at the quality of mobile games versus typical gaming is actually pretty interesting to look at. There is so much crap on the Google Play Store and on the App Store. More so than on any other gaming platform. Period. And that taints the reputation of the platform, for obvious reasons. The choice and variety of games on a platform is quite often in one of its most defining features. Which is why, for instance, the PS Vita, while having plenty of amazing typical games, will always be known as a weeb machine. Because a very large percentage of its library are JRPGs and other games that are seen as too Japanese for the typical Westerner's taste. That's the reason so many people don't even have a want for the Vita, because if you're not a fan of Japanese games, then what is the point of owning it? If you're not a fan of Japanese games, then you have an option of like 4. Or games that are multi-platform anyway, so you could play them elsewhere. So using that same train of logic, if you aren't a fan of terrible, oversimplified, microtransaction-filled garbage games, then why would you play games on mobile? You could easily say that for every actual good game on Android and iPhone, there are more than a dozen miserable ones that have no reason to exist. But that's not the only reason why some people see mobile platforms as not even worthy of playing so-called games on. There's also this interesting concept that I will definitely explore in another video, but it's the whole casual versus hardcore debacle. Some people are of the mindset that unless you spend $4,000 on a PC, then you aren't dedicated enough to gaming to be called a gamer. It's a hierarchy. High-end PC, mid-ranged PC, low-end PC, console, dog vomit, mobile games. But why are mobile games ranked so lowly? I mean, if it's a matter of money poured into gaming, then shouldn't mobile games be above systems such as the 3DS and even some consoles? So perhaps it's not an issue of just raw cost. Perhaps it's more of mobile is seen as lowly because it's a multi-use tool. It's not a gaming machine. A lot of people will buy a phone as a communication device, and then they just happen to play games on it. But then again, PCs and now even consoles do that too. So really, I'm sure it's just a matter of people trying to feel better about themselves by putting others down. Which is really sad. But that is a whole other thing to get into in a video specifically about the casual versus hardcore debacle. One that I'll definitely get into into the psychology of it all. It's gonna be interesting. So what are my thoughts on mobile games? Well, does Omnom on my shelf answer that for you? I loved Cut the Rope, until I got to the point of replay every level perfectly or pay up. And I loved Angry Birds, until the point of near impossibility unless you spend money on power-ups. And Pokemon Shuffle was one of my favorite games of 2015. No joke. Until it got to the point of pump in money or grind for weeks to get to the next level. So for me personally, I can enjoy a good mobile game from time to time. Waiting in line or at a doctor's waiting room. Distract yourself with a few levels from some game. People who have a problem with other people picking up mobile games and playing them are obviously angsty preteens that think they are the center of the universe. It's the classic stop liking what I don't like mentality of controlling other people's thoughts. And then there's the mid-ranged people on this spectrum. People who think it's fine if you pick up and play a mobile game every now and then, especially if you're just waiting in line or something. But if you actually sit down and play a mobile game, then you are cancer. Oh, Wide Loxton sometimes plays mobile games legitimately and for hours on end? you anymore, man! I'm out! I'm done! Disliked and unsubscribed! You suck! I mean, there are a lot of mobile games now that used to be console games. I loved playing Bard's Tale on my tablet. There's Scribblenauts, Minecraft, Terraria, countless games all ported onto mobile. These days, mobile phones are nothing but a little pocket PC with a touchscreen. And there are a lot of mobile games that are just as intense or even more intense than popular, hardcore titles on PC and consoles. Many of them tell stories and have thought-provoking puzzles. I loved Waking Mars, and I highly recommend it. I enjoyed Plants vs. Zombies. Anomaly Warzone Earth is also very fun. The Rayman Run games are good, simple fun too. So what is the problem? What is the stigma behind all of this hate? Well, I've actually mentioned it a few times already. I liked blank until it required I use microtransactions or grind for weeks to continue. While there are a lot of console and PC games that use microtransactions too, microtransactions are definitely a defining feature in mobile games. And thinking about it, every mobile game I've enjoyed enough to play for an hour or more per sitting have been games that don't require microtransactions, or even lack them entirely. And these games that don't even have microtransactions are a minority, by far. And quality games are also a huge minority, meaning quality games that don't have microtransactions is extremely difficult to stumble upon. But that doesn't make it impossible. Eventually I'll make a list video about my favorite mobile games, and when I do start doing reviews more regularly, which is coming soon, I'm sure you can expect there to be a few mobile games on there. And now I've got to get back to unpacking and setting everything up. So until next time, stay awesome and keep using that noggin. I'm gonna have to set up my computer to edit this, aren't I? Dang it. At least I have you, Rubber Turkey.